So hello everyone. So today I'm going to discuss you about the topic that is profit and loss. All right. As we all know that this is a very basic term which we use it on a daily basis, profit and loss. So let's just discuss about like what does actual the meaning of the profit, like, of the term profit. Profit. So what is a profit basically? For example, let's take an example. There is a person A and a person B. Okay. Now A has, produced one pen and, let's say the cost incurred for, the production of that pen is 10. For example, he has invested 10 rupees or he has spent 10 rupees to, acquire a pen. So we will say that this is the cost, means cost price for A. Okay, cost price for A for a pen is rupees 10. All right, and there is one more person, that is person B. And if A, just sell this pen to B, okay, at let's say rupees 20. So what does 20 rupees mean for A? It will be the selling price, that is SP. Okay, so in this example, we have considered two things basically. First is the cost price, that is 10 rupees, and second one is the selling price, which is 20 rupees. Okay, so we come to know from this thing that the cost price of a pen is rupees 10 rupees, and selling price of that pen is rupees 20. Okay, now we are talking about for A, right? We are talking about for A. We are thinking from A's perspective that he has spent 10 rupees to purchase or to produce that pen. That was 20 rupees. That is the cost. And he has, sell it to B at rupees 20. So it will become the selling price of that pen for A. So if we want to talk about like how much profit A has earned, so how we will going to calculate it? Profit is nothing but it is a difference between the cost price and the selling price. All right. So if we want to know the profit, we will subtract selling price and cost price, right? We will subtract cost price from the selling price and the difference of amount will be profit to us. All right. So if I want to subtract rupees 20 from rupees 10, sorry, 10 from 20, so I'll get what? 10 rupees as a profit. Okay. So this is what a profit is for person A. So in this case, we have understood the concept of selling cost, selling price, cost price, and profit. What if he want to, if he sell it at rupees 50? In that case, let's just take it with an example. Now, if we want to reverse the thing, so it will be like we are taking the same example in our consideration, but this time A cost is same, cost for pen is same for A, that is 10 rupees. Now this time he sold it to B at rupees 50, oh sorry, let's say 8 rupees. Okay, now you can see that this time cost price and selling price, which one is greater? Obviously 10 is greater than 8. So selling price is greater than the cost price. Sorry, cost price is greater than the selling price. So we can conclude that the person is not gaining something, he's losing something, all right? So what is this loss means? The loss is basically nothing but where the cost price exceeds the selling price, that is the condition where our a person A, in our example, A has, incurred loss in that case. So we can say now, if I want to calculate that what is the amount of loss he has incurred, or what is the amount of loss he has to bear, it will be the subtraction of both the digits. All right. So in this case, we can see that selling price is more than the cost price is more than the selling price. So cost price is more. So we can subtract cost price. We can do the difference. All right. So we will get 10 minus 8, because 10 was our cost price and 8 was our selling price. So the difference between them is rupees 2. So we can say A has, done this transaction while incurring loss of rupees 2 in our case. All right. So in our previous example, A has sold in the means the condition says that CP and SP means cost price and selling price. And again, we are taking cost price and selling price. So in our first example, we saw that selling price was greater. And in this example, we see that cost price is greater than the selling price. So when a condition arises, in our case, let's say in our first example, selling price was greater than the cost price. So in that case, we have a good profit. Now, in this case, where cost price is greater than the selling price, in that case, we can say a person has incurred a loss of rupees 2 in our example. I hope it is clear to you. Basically, when selling price is greater than the cost price, it is a condition of profit. And when cost price is greater than the selling price, it is the condition of loss, we can say. All right. So let's solve, some questions based upon profit and loss only. Okay. So let's say there is a person, let's say Ra. Okay. And there is one more person, let's say Sham. So there is Ram and Sham. Okay. And Ram has, something with him, let's say books. Okay. And which costs around 5,000 to him. Okay. Now he want to sell this thing to Shyam. Okay. And he want to, sell it to Shyam at a price of 6,000. Fine. So if we want to calculate the profit, okay. So what will be profit here? Profit will be selling price minus cost price, which is 6,000 minus 5,000. It will be rupees 1,000. So 1,000 is what? The profit which he has gained, or which he has, gained from the transaction after selling the goods to Sham at rupees 6,000. All right. Now, what if I want to calculate the percentage of profit, like how much in percentage Ram has gained, or profit percent we are supposed to find out. So how we will do that thing? So there is one more formula for it. If in case we want to calculate the profit percentage or the gain percentage. Okay, so there is a formula for it. So if I want to calculate profit percentage, that can be calculated by dividing profit by the cost price and multiplying it by the 100. All right. So we can see that Here is profit. We have already calculated that was 1000. Fine. Now, if I want to, divide it by cost price, so we know that cost price was 5,000. And we have to multiply it by 100 because we are talking about the percentage. So when we are talking about the percentage, or we want to convert any number by in percentage, so we are supposed to multiply that particular thing by 100. So we have taken 100 for our like in our calculation. Okay. Now let's just solve these things very quickly. If I cut 0 from 0, 0, 0, and this 0 by this 0. All right. Now 5 ones are 5 twos are 10 and 0 will remain here. So we can say that profit percent is 20. Okay. So 20% profit he has earned from this transaction, in which the cost of that particular thing was 5,000 and he has sold it to Shyam at 6,000. And through this transaction we can say he has earned a profit of rupees 1,000, or 20% profit he has earned in total. I hope this thing is clear. Now moving on to the next thing, now if I want to just find out the loss in case of loss, how we're going to solve the question when they ask us to find the loss percentage. Okay, so moving on to the next thing, that is loss percentage. All right, so same way, the formula will remain same, only the change will be there. That is, instead of writing profit, we have to write loss this time upon CP into 100. Okay, so let's just take that example only, in which two persons were there, Ram and Shyam. Okay, Ram and Shyam, in which Ram is selling some commodity or goods to Shyam. Let's say the cost price of that commodity was 5,000. Okay, and he has sold this thing to Shyam this time at 4,000. 4,000 rupees. Now we are supposed to calculate loss percentage in this case. First of all, we have to find out loss percentage. We are supposed to find out loss first, right? Which we don't know right now. So, but we know the formula how to calculate loss. So the formula to calculate loss is, cost price minus selling price, which is 5,000 minus 4,000. Now our final answer, not our final answer, but loss will be 1,000. Okay, this is our loss. Now we come to know about the loss, but we have to work upon loss percentage. We have to calculate in percentage that how much percent of loss he has basically occurred in this transaction, right? So our loss percentage will be, to calculate the loss percentage, we know the formula, and what is it? We have to put, loss percentage will be loss upon CP into 100. So what is it? Loss is 1,000. Cost price is 5,000. And we have to multiply it by 100. So, 5 ones are 5 twos are 10 and 0 as it is. So we will be getting 20% loss this time. All right. So Now, this is the way to calculate profit and loss percentage. So till now we have studied basically the concept of cost price, selling price, profit, loss, profit percent, and loss percent. Now it's time to practice few questions based upon the formulas which we have studied in this. So let's just work upon the things together. All right. So this time we will be going to solve some questions, numerical questions, in which we will going to find out things or while using the formula which we have studied till now. So basically, first I will write all the formula which we have studied till now related to profit loss in our session till now. So I'm writing the formula over here. Let me change the ink. Yes. So I'm writing formulas here. So first formula was profit. To calculate profit, what was it? We have to subtract, we have to give the difference of cost and the selling price. So profit is a condition in which our cost price is less than the selling price. So obviously we will write SP minus CP. Now loss is the condition in which we have to, it is the opposite condition as compared to profit, right? So formula will be interchanged. CP will become greater and SP will become lesser number. All right. So the condition in which we are selling the commodity or anything in a price which is quite lower than the cost price, that condition will be loss. Now this means the next formula which we have studied was profit percentage. To calculate the percentage in profit, there is a formula that is profit upon CP into 100. And if I want to calculate same thing for loss, so instead of writing profit, I'll write loss here, dividing it by CP and multiplying it by 100. So these are the formula which we have, studied till now. So by using these formula only, we will going to solve few questions. All right. So let's take one question. Okay. So let's say Mr. X sold the pen to Mr. Y at rupees 1000, which was costed to him at rupees 1500. Find profit or loss percent. So here is our question. It says that there are two parties, X and Y. Okay, now I'm doing the solution. Question says that there are two parties. First is Mr. X. Okay. Second is Mr. Y. So they are saying that Mr. X sold the pen to Mr. Y. Okay. So what is our selling price? It is written sold. Sold means we are selling something. So the price at which the transaction means the commodity has been sold is, it is given to us, that is 1,000 rupees. And they are saying that which was costed to him at rupees 1500, means the cost was 1500. All right. So they're asking us to find out the profit percentage or loss percentage because we don't know, like, this is the condition of profit or loss. It is not clear to us. So first we have to figure it out that whether he has, gained something or he has lost, right? So this we will be able to, find it out very easily by just comparing the numbers 1000 and 5000. All right. For example, it is given to us that we know the formula which is written over here, SP minus CP, in the condition where profit is occurring, and CP minus SP for loss. All right. So when we are talking about the condition in this question, it is the question says that cost price is 1500 and selling price is 1000. It means the cost price is greater than the selling price. So obviously, if cost price is greater than the selling price, so the condition will be of loss. Okay. So, and to calculate loss, we know formula is CP minus SP. If I solve, what should I get? 1500 minus 1000. So our loss is of 500 rupees. Yes. So first we have calculated 500, but we are supposed to find out the profit percentage or loss percentage according to the question. So we have to work upon percentage as well. So if I want to calculate loss percentage, because we are only able to calculate loss percentage because profit is not happening here. So loss is there. So we are only able to calculate loss percentage here. And the formula which we have to use to calculate loss percentage is loss upon CP into 100, which will be 500, because we know the value for loss we have calculated, that is 1500. Okay. Sorry, 500, and the cost price was 1500, multiply by 100. So deduct, like I'm, you know, cutting the zero. 5 threes are 15. It says near about 100 upon 3. Okay. Now let's convert this thing into fraction, or we can leave answer like this as well, or we can convert it into mixed fraction. Okay, so 3 threes are 9. Now I'll get 1 as a remainder. Again, 3 threes are 9. Again, 1 as a remainder. So it will be like this. 3 as denominator, 1 will go upward. And here I can write 33. 33 whole 1 by 3% is our final answer for loss. It means Mr. X has sold fen at loss, but at what percentage? 33 whole 1 by 3 percentage. Or we can say he has, just completed this transaction by loss. And what was the amount of loss for that? That was 500. All right. I hope this question is clear to you. Now moving on to the next question. Next question is, let's take one numerical example for our, to make our concept more clear. Let's say Mr. A sold books to Mr. B. So there are two persons, A and B, and A is selling to Mr. B. Okay, so Mr. A sold books to Mr. B at 5 rupees per book. Let's just take, okay. Mr. A sold 10 books to Mr. B at 5 rupees per book. The cost for the total books was 1700. Okay. Total means in total he was having 10 books with him and he has sold 10 books at 5 rupees per book. Now find the profit or loss percent for Mr. A. Okay, so this is our question. It says that, question says that there is Mr. A. Okay, and Mr. B. All right, Mr. A is here and Mr. B. Transaction is taking place between A and B. What is happening? Mr. A is selling, 10. Mr. A has 10 books with him, right? Now he sold 10 books, all books or 10 books to Mr. B at 5 rupees per book. Okay, but this time we don't know the exact amount or the exact cost price or sorry, exact selling price. All right. So we want to calculate it first for selling price because we don't know. So how we will calculate it? 10 into 5. 10 into 5 will be 50 rupees. All right. So it means he has sold for, let's say, 50 rupees and the cost was 1700. Can you imagine? There is such a huge difference between selling price and cost price, and we can see it is very clear from the question that it is the case of loss. Okay, so we know the cost price as well. So how we will going to calculate it? To calculate loss, we just have to subtract the things. 1700 minus 50. What we will get? Just subtract it. 0 and 5, it will become 6 and 1. See, he has, gone through a big loss. We can see here. Okay, that was 1650. Means he has gone through 1650 rupees loss, and we are supposed to calculate the loss percentage over here. So how we are going to find out? For that, we have one formula with us, that is loss percentage will be loss upon CP into 100. We know the cost price, that was 1700, and he sold it at a loss of 1650. So we can write 1650 over here and multiply it by 100. Now let's just reduce the numbers and we have it like this. So if we want to leave our answer in percentage, or we can do division as well, it will be 1615 divided by 17 percentage. Okay, if you want to leave your answer like this, you can leave it like this as well, or we can convert it into, fraction as well. So we have 1650 with us, and if we divide this thing by, 17, So let's just do the division part also. 1650 divided by 17. Okay. So if I divide this thing by 17, so 17, how many times should I take? 17 nines are, let's say. 17 tens are is 170, which will be greater than 165. So we will going to take 17 nines are. That will be 153. If I just do the subtraction, what should I get? 5 minus 3 will be 2. And 6 minus 5 will be 1 and 120. Okay. Now next number means the next step which I have to do is this is, just divide this thing by 17. So if I just divide this thing by 17, let's say 17 sevens hours, it will be, 119. And if I just subtract this thing, I will be getting 1 over here. And it will become 1. So 1 minus 1 will be 0 and 0. So 1 will be there as a remainder. So we can just write this thing in mixed fraction. And mixed fraction for this will be 17 will remain as the denominator. 1 will become numerator. 95 will become the whole number. So this will be our final answer. 97 whole 1 by 7 or 1650 divided by upon 17% is the final answer. All right. So this is how we, solve the questions based upon based upon profit and loss. So in this thing, now let me just conclude all the things which we have studied. That was, first we have understood the concept of profit, loss, profit percent, and loss percent. Okay, so how to calculate profit? We have understood the concept very easily, that profit is a condition in which, cost price is less than the selling price. So it will be obviously SP minus CP. And when we are talking about loss, it is the opposite condition. So we can write CP minus SP. And if I want to calculate the percentage, means the profit percentage, it will be like this. Let's say, what was it? Profit upon CP into 100. And for loss, it will be loss upon CP into 100. All right. So we have discussed all the things in this video. First, the concept of profit, concept of loss, basically the condition, the profit is a condition in which cost price is less than selling price, and loss is the condition in which cost price is more than the selling price. Formula for calculating profit is SP minus CP. Formula to calculate loss is CP minus SP. And what if we are supposed to calculate percentage? So there is one more formula for it. That is profit upon CP into 100. And for loss, it will be loss upon CP into 100. So that's it for the day. So we have discussed basically all the major topic or the concept which can, which can be come in anybody's mind when we are talking about profit and loss. So that's it for the day. And I hope you, understood the concept very clearly. And I hope there will be no doubts after watching this video. So thank you so much for this session.